Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome to the very first episode of the Truth Talk podcast. After seeing multiple comments asking for longer in-depth videos, I figured maybe you guys would like, if in addition to my 3 videos a week, a podcast where I can go more in detail on a variety of different topics that you guys want to hear about. I made a poll asking what you guys wanted, and the majority voted yes, and here we are. Now let me explain how this podcast is going to work. Every week I'll be going through the comments on my videos to see what you guys commented the most and want me to talk about. I will also be considering suggested topics sent to me through Instagram. This way I can cover the topics you guys want me to talk about. I truly appreciate all the support you guys have been showing me, and I want to make sure I keep making quality content that helps spread the truth. Now let me introduce my co-host for this episode, my wife, who you guys can call Dee. Dee, introduce yourself please.
Hi everybody, I'm Dee. I'm so happy to be a part of the show today. Thank you guys for having me.
I want to start today's episode by discussing one of the most commented topics on my channel, whether rappers like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar sold their souls, which rappers I believe didn't sell their souls. I've been seeing these comments since I started this channel back in February of this year. And honestly, the reason I haven't addressed it is because this isn't an easy question to address. You see, almost all major rappers are signed to the 3 major record labels, which are Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music Entertainment. So the majority of record labels that artists sign to fall under those 3 major record labels. And those 3 major record labels are owned by Freemasons. Those record labels have to approve every single thing that an artist from any of the minor record labels that are under the branch of those 3 major record labels. If an artist wants to drop a song tomorrow and he's signed to so-and-so record label, that record label is under one of these 3 major record labels. And anything that artist does has to be approved by these 3 major record labels. And usually what happens is they approve only what they want, only the agenda that they're willing to push. Artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they're part of that system, so it's hard to identify what's their true purpose. Their message in some of their songs can be interpreted as a good, wholesome message, but then they have other songs where they're promoting the same very agenda. Dee, do you listen to rappers like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole?
Yes, I do. I listen to both of them actually.
And in your opinion, would you say that they're part of the system in any way? Would you say that these artists manipulate people into adopting satanic values like other artists?
As far as spreading satanic morals, I'm not too sure about that, but I do believe that they are pushing an agenda.
The thing is with Kendrick Lamar, and I've noticed this since the beginning, I feel like Kendrick Lamar knows what he got himself into. I feel like he knows what the system is, and he knows that he's a part of the system. I feel like Kendrick Lamar definitely sold his soul. He's working with the people that control this world. I've noticed in multiple of Kendrick Lamar's songs that he predicted an apocalyptic event approaching. And it's strange because if you think about it, there hasn't been much music from Kendrick Lamar in a while. Those were the last messages that he was kind of sending the world before everything that happened in 2020 happened. Think about the level that Kendrick Lamar's at. Kendrick Lamar isn't your average rapper. Kendrick Lamar is honored by the entire music industry. They all see him as the best rapper basically of our time. For a rapper to get to that level, I don't think it just happens, you know. If Kendrick Lamar was against the system is what I'm trying to say, I don't feel like he would be in the position that he's in. In a way, he makes us know that, yes, there's evil, but he doesn't tell people not to choose those evils and kind of even raps about those things, glorifies it in a way. If we go to his music, To Pimp a Butterfly, and most of his work like Section 80, he kind of glorifies it. If you know you're working directly for the men who set the agenda, then how could you really be against it, you know? What's your thoughts on that, Dee?
I feel like they use artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole to still push these agendas. They just have it hidden. I also think that they are deceiving people with their music, making their viewers think that they're not a part of it, when in reality the message is just more hidden.
I can see exactly what you're saying. In my opinion, even in his song Humble, you could clearly see when the light shines on him, it's him showing his enlightenment. You can clearly see tons of Masonic symbols. You can see tons of satanic imagery in there. It's just more hidden because if you listen to what he's saying, he kind of tries to say some stuff that you would kind of think that is good, but still the overall message is exactly the same as all the rest. So in a way, I'm not too sure about Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. There's a lot of things that they talk about. Maybe they want to speak the truth, but in the position that they are, it'll cost them too much to do so. When I think of rappers like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, I feel like, you know, those are questionable. Now, in regards of if there's rappers that haven't committed to the agenda, that's easier to tell. If a rapper isn't at that mainstream level and isn't promoting the exact same message that we see countless artists promote, then you can easily tell this artist right here, he's not part of this agenda. He's just making music on his own, making music for himself. It's hard to find those artists. Personally, I haven't really seen many of them that I can stand by 100% because multiple artists they choose to represent the same things nowadays. You think about it, it's kind of harder to tell which artist is really trying to stand for something good when they're all talking about the same exact thing. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh no, I definitely agree. Even the ones who aren't signed that are trying to make it still spread the wrong messages and the wrong agendas, trying to get up there. There's not really, that I have personally seen, any artists nowadays that are trying to spread a positive message.
Thing is, those upcoming artists, they see these bigger artists and they see the fans reacting to these bigger artists and they quickly decide, this is how I have to act. This is what I have to promote. This is what I have to speak about. And that becomes them selling themselves before they even get that record deal, becoming someone that they morally know is incorrect, but they're willing to do anything to make it, which, like I've said hundreds of times on my channel, selling your soul is not just you call the devil, you make a pact. Selling your soul is going against that moral compass that you have deep inside. You know what's wrong, you know what's right, you know what to do. If you know me promoting violence and promoting hatred and promoting crime isn't gonna get my people anywhere, then you should already know that you have sold out. These artists know that the message that they're putting out there is directly impacting the same people that live in the communities they grew up in. See, I'm from the Bronx. In the area I grew up, I saw how powerful the influence of the rappers were. Mostly every single person I knew was influenced by hip-hop music. They wanted to be just like those rappers. Those rappers told them to sell poison to their own people, told them to commit crimes, told them to live a street life, and that's exactly what these people did. They lived by those rappers' words. I saw personally, growing up, what that did to my people. I saw how it corrupted them. I saw how it damaged them and made them think a life of crime was better than a good life, better than a successful life. In fact, they saw people that lived those type of lives as losers because in their minds, they wanted to be like what these rappers portrayed themselves as. In all reality, these rappers were just that, rappers who didn't do nothing that they rapped about. They lived a completely different life, living in the suburbs, a successful life, the life that they should have actually been promoting to their fans, instead of promoting them a life that's going to actually destroy them. When people ask me which artist didn't sell out, that's really up to that artist. Which artist is not promoting the same things that are going to destroy our people? Which artists are promoting a positive message? I'm from those streets, so I know that it's not necessary to promote a message of destruction. There is no validation for it. They do it because they know that that's what's going to pay their bills. They know the record labels are going to pay them those big advances and give them those deals as long as they stay part of that agenda. The moment that these artists decide this is not what they want to represent, well, the record labels get them out of there. Now let's move on from this topic. Another name I constantly see pop up in the comment section is Chloe Bailey. I believe she's Beyonce's new artist from what you guys keep telling me. I truly have no idea who she is. D, have you heard of her?
Yes, I have. She actually has a trending song on TikTok currently. Before hearing her song on TikTok, I was aware that she was making music with her sister Hailey Bailey. There was also some controversy with Hailey playing Ariel. That's really how I learned about both of them.
I truly have no idea who they are. I've actually seen the video because of a few people sent it to me, but I was really busy, so I only got to see a few parts of it, skimming through to see what symbols I can find in it. But I'm going to check it out right now for you guys, and I'm going to see exactly what you guys are talking about. Her song is Have Mercy. Let's check it out. I think it's the only song that she seems to have up. At the beginning, you can clearly see that she kind of looks like Beyonce a bit. And then the Greek mythology. Every time you see Greek mythology in a video, the Freemasons love Greek mythology because of the multiple god worship. I always say this, and in my opinion, this is what I believe. The multiple gods were just fallen angels that the Greeks used to worship. They used to worship them, making sacrifices towards them. And this is exactly what I believe the Freemasons do to this day. They worship these fallen angels because these fallen angels are teaching them how to be gods, how to worship themselves and serve themselves as gods. This is what they believe in. Most of the symbolism in this video, you can clearly see that she's just taking on Beyonce's trend. Was she always this, showing this much in her videos since the beginning, or this is after Beyonce?
As far as I'm aware, all of this is more recent. I've actually seen some controversy about her trying too much. I'm putting quotations around that because as far as I'm aware, I am not sure. But as far as her fans, they said that this is more recent. Her showing a little bit more, doing a little bit extra.
Also, this part right here at 3:05 mark, you can see that she shows a kind of like a man in a web and it turns into a statue. They're promoting these values because they know that it's affecting women and men. They're teaching men that women can be bought, and they're teaching women to sell themselves. This is exactly the agenda. This is what they want for their new world order. In my opinion, she's definitely part of the agenda. You could clearly see throughout the entire video the symbolism and what she's trying to promote. The same exact message that Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls, it's all the same at this point. And honestly, you can clearly see this. It's just, at this point, it's being over-pushed. And people are just accepting it. That's why we have more people willing to show themselves off on OnlyFans, more people willing to do all those type of things. D, what's your thoughts on OnlyFans? Do you think OnlyFans is a good thing for women? You think it's a form of liberation for women, like so many women say? A form of gaining independence and taking ownership of your body? You as a female, what are your thoughts on OnlyFans?
Personally, I don't view OnlyFans as a way of being independent. I watched my mother, who was independent, work, put herself through school, and take care of her 5 kids by herself. To me, that's more of being independent than taking off my clothes and letting everybody see my body. And I don't think that's having control over your body. If you want to control your body, you should keep it to yourself and allow the people that you want to see it. These girls are just doing this as a way to get income, and it's only going to get them so far, and it's only going to last them so long.
Not only that, the damage that they're doing to themselves. They're literally selling themselves to the world for $5 a month. Anybody can see them. That's how much value they give themselves. They're willing to show you everything that you're supposed to keep private, everything that only supposed to be seen by the man that you marry and say you love. They're willing to sell that for as little as $5 a month. And you can see that this is part of the agenda. This is exactly what they wanted. Just think about it. Look, when OnlyFans started becoming popular, they had big artists promoting this. They had Cardi B, they had Bella Thorne, Beyonce. They had so many artists promote this to get the general public on board without even questioning it. This is them basically turning millions of girls into adult film stars. 30 years ago, this would have not been accepted. Nobody would have been okay with their daughters, with their sisters doing such actions. This should clearly show you that the agenda is working better than it ever did before. People, day after day, are allowing themselves to be conditioned to be the people that the Masons need them to be for their new Masonic world. People are accepting evil without even knowing it. For their love of money, they're willing to do anything. And they created that money for that same purpose. That's why on the $1 bill, you can see the all-seeing eye. That's them letting you know you will forever be enslaved to them as long as you love money. That's how they get you. The love of money is the way they destroy you because they know that you're willing to do anything for that money. OnlyFans to me is just destroying women. Our current generation don't see it because they only see the benefits of all the money that they're making. One day they're going to be a mother and their child is going to grow up in the world with the possibility of being able to see their mom in that way. As messed up as it is, it's the truth. That mom is selling herself. Her son could be in school and one day one of her friends can literally point out, hey, I saw your mom on OnlyFans. That's the world we're going towards. And that's the world the Freemasons have created. This is their agenda, and it's been set in stone. They use media, they use music, they use everything they possibly can to keep people hypnotized and going along with their plans. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Kanye. Recently, I don't know what he's on. I've been trying to make sense of all his recent actions, but I honestly cannot make any sense of it. Recently, I saw him wearing what seems to be a Halloween mask, a little bit early because Halloween is a few days from now. On top of this, he got a strange haircut, which I can't even explain what this is. In my opinion, the Donda, like I said, it seemed like honoring his sacrifice for his mother. Maybe it's all connected to this. Kanye keeps doing stuff like this where we have to wait for the final event. We have to wait for his next move so that we can truly see what he's doing. But I honestly do not know what is he on. Honestly, it doesn't make much sense to me. I honestly do not know what's going on with him lately. The haircut, I would say is a call for attention, but what attention? He just dropped an album. His album didn't do that bad. It did pretty well, and it's not like he's going to drop an album again. So I honestly do not know why he would be seeking attention. This has to be something that's more than this. What is your thoughts on this mask and this haircut and his recent actions? What do you think on that?
Silent cries of help. He looks like he has gone insane. He is totally going crazy, especially based off this haircut. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not something that would have been unusual. He has been in mental health facilities before, so maybe he does need a little reevaluation.
I don't ever believe that he's truly crazy. I think that is planned. I don't believe that he would just do these things without it being a reason. I feel like there's a lot more to it, and we're just not seeing it yet because he probably hasn't got to that point in his plans. Kanye loves to unveil his events like this. For all we know, he might be doing another event like Donda. He might be doing something for Halloween, and maybe he has an event planned that day. Because you know how Freemasons love this holiday. This is basically their favorite holiday where evil is celebrated, and people buy into all the evilness in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he's doing something around this time or he's just preparing his fans for what's to come. But the mask and the hair, I wouldn't even be able to tell you guys what I believe because honestly, it's just craziness. It doesn't make much sense. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the Meg and Tory Lanez situation. Supposedly, Tory Lanez is trying to negotiate a plea deal where he could plead down to a lesser charge. I find this whole entire situation interesting. What are your thoughts on the Megan and Tory Lanez? Do you think that Tory really did do that to Meg Thee Stallion, or do you think that there's something behind the scenes? Because that whole thing to me just never really made much sense. What are your thoughts on that, D?
I think it's all definitely a cover-up for something. There's no way he did that to her, what they're saying he did to her, and she was able to walk a few days later, no less perform.
I agree. When I was doing some research on the whole entire situation, what I saw was that Tory Lanez did recently go independent. He was hanging around Jay-Z and hanging around Rock Nation. I would probably assume that Jay-Z was probably trying to sign him or gain management over him because that's what Jay-Z's recently been doing. He's been kind of collecting these artists, jumping on the biggest acts and managing them. I feel like Tory Lanez didn't go along with that. And that's why he's paying the price he's paying, where they did this to him with Meg Thee Stallion. Him and Meg Thee Stallion's relationship doesn't even go back that far before that situation happened. To me, it honestly seems like it was planned, like they sent her in there to purposely have this happen to him. Especially since she said she never really saw Tory Lanez do it, that she had her back turned. And I feel like her career has just been exploding since. She's almost done this for them and have gotten the reward of having unlimited success. She is literally the hottest artist right now when it comes to female artists. In my opinion, she's hotter than Cardi B and Nicki Minaj right now. To get to that level so quick, I find it suspicious. How is it that she was hurt, injured, and was able to perform with such an injury like that so quickly afterwards? And she was out there dancing and, doing all types of things that you would think that a person would take months and months to recover from being injured in that manner. Honestly, if he takes a plea deal, it might not look good on him. People are always going to assume that he truly did it. I hope that the truth ends up coming out to the light. If Tory Lanez truly did something as wicked as that, then yeah, I don't think he deserves to be free. That's, especially not to a woman who most definitely wasn't doing nothing to him. I feel like Meg is definitely being instructed and being protected. Tory, I'm not saying that he's a victim because I really don't know what happened that day, but there is something strange because honestly, when things like this tend to happen, we will see legal action happen quicker. And usually the person that is being accused of doing such a crime like Tory is being accused of, he wouldn't be running around free. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section and let's move on. The next thing I wanted to talk about was regarding the interview that I did with the Freemason. At the end of the video, he spoke about the Freemasons having some type of connection with aliens, worshiping aliens in some way. He was very vague on the topic. Like I've said before, I feel like aliens are just fallen angels and they don't really exist. What would you say, D? What do you think about aliens? What is your opinion on aliens?
I'm not too sure of their existence, but I do not deny or doubt them because I have never been up there, so I don't know for sure if they exist or not. Regarding the Masons and the aliens, I do believe they have some ties, but it's only based on things that I've seen and heard, so I'm not sure how factual they are. There's a picture of George Washington. It's like a Masonic picture, and it depicts a ladder in the left corner going up to some light figure, and people have said that light figure is a UFO, but like I said, I'm not too sure about it. But I don't doubt it because obviously they're working with some type of higher up.
The ladder that you see in the picture, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to represent the degrees in Freemasonry. The ladder represents their climb to enlightenment. That light that you see there is supposed to represent his rise to enlightenment. I don't necessarily see it as being UFO or alien. I see it more as being a light, him climbing to the enlightenment, him being as a god. If you think about it, that's what Freemasonics teach. I've never really connected them with aliens. In the recent American Horror Story season, I've been watching it, and I've seen that that's exactly what they're trying to connect. You've been watching it with me, so you've seen how they're trying to connect the presidents to the aliens, basically saying that they had a treaty. They do have a treaty with demons, which are fallen angels. This is exactly what they're trying to tell us. These aliens are nothing less than fallen angels. Maybe they appear to people as beings of light or as UFOs, but we must remember that angels are beings of light. Angels were made by God, and God created them to be good. Demons don't appear to us how we believe them to be. We have been conditioned to think that demons are these scary, demonic-looking figures, when in all reality, they're all at one point angels, so they most likely still look like beings of light and beauty. Do I believe the Freemasons worship aliens? Yes, if these aliens are demons. If you think about how they draw certain aliens, it's similar to how they draw certain demons. What do you think about that? Would you say that is a possibility that angels could be demons? Or do you just think that these aliens are just aliens?
I personally believe that if aliens do exist, that they are just that. Things that are in another galaxy or another planet, because let's be honest, we are not the only planet in the solar system. There is many. We have never been there. We have never gone. Just because NASA says they've sent technology over there and things doesn't mean that they're telling us the truth, nor if they have found anything that they have told us. Who is to say that we're the only things living? That's just my opinion.
No, and I respect your opinion, of course. As a God-fearing man, I take God's word as literal. So I feel like if God said there is no aliens, there is no aliens. And to think, if aliens really did exist, wouldn't we have already discovered this or made contact with them? It would have been really hard for the government to keep this a secret. Think about this. There's billions of people in the world. Somebody would have seen alien activity. I also see what you say. We're told that we live in a world that is just one planet in a gigantic solar system of many planets. A lot of the things they tell us with a hidden agenda. They do it for a specific reason. If you were to ask me, they use aliens to discredit God's existence, just like the Big Bang Theory. If we were to listen to science, the world was created by chaos, by just a random act, not by a creation of a God who took his time and detailed every single aspect of our lives, which, in my opinion, sounds more plausible. When I look outside and I see the beautiful trees and the sky, it looks like someone created this. It doesn't look like a random act of chaos. Science often try to disprove God's existence. That's why I often stay away from what they say. I become very skeptical of what NASA has to say and people like that in general. It just seems to me like they're trying to discredit God. I also want to ask you guys that are watching, what do you guys think? Do you guys believe aliens exist? Do you think that there's a possibility that America has a treaty with aliens or the Masons truly just serve the aliens? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. In my opinion, I don't believe in aliens.
I just want to backtrack to where you were talking about that. If aliens did exist, people would speak about seeing them and sightings. We do see people claim that they've seen aliens and UFOs and that they've had interactions, but media claims that they're hoax. Media says that it's fake. Media says that person is crazy. So it looks like, okay, we start to think, oh, that person who said that they did have this experience is crazy. They're lying. It's not real. We go back to thinking, pretend, we go back normal.
If that were the case, the media wouldn't cover them at all. If they didn't want us to believe in aliens, they wouldn't even mention them. They wouldn't even cover the people that spoke about aliens. They would just ignore them like they do with the people that speak out against the agenda. They don't cover the people that speak out against the agenda. They say exactly what they're told, and they stay away from topics that truly expose the truth. If aliens were to exist and they would want to keep it a secret, I feel they just wouldn't cover it at all or make documentaries about it or give it so much attention. People have suspected of aliens existing in Area 51 for a very long time now. Still to this day, we don't have any proof. Think about the year that we're in. Earlier this year, they were telling us that they had important information about aliens and they were going to tell us. They never told us anything. And I honestly feel they want us to think aliens exist because they want us to think God doesn't. They're successfully spreading their Masonic agenda, and in our current world, many people think God don't exist. It looks like they're using this alien stuff to further confuse more people. The last thing I'd like to talk about is a question I've seen commented multiple times throughout many of my videos. Why did I start this channel? To be completely honest, I started this channel because I saw firsthand the effects that the agenda had in my community. I was born and raised in the Bronx, and I lived there until 2020 when I decided it was best to move out of New York. Where I lived, it was an area where you can clearly see how the agenda destroys people. Most of my friends dropped out of school to work the blocks and do whatever they can to make money. In their minds, rappers were at the top of the world, and they wanted to be just like them. It was easy to see how bad their influence was on the youth. If you look at New York City today, crimes are up and more kids are meeting destructive ends, and the music just keeps on glamorizing it all. People often get mad at me because I point out the truth about their favorite artists. They don't understand that I do not at all want to judge any artist I speak about. That's why I never say anything judgmental about them as a person. I simply talk about what they're pushing and how it's affecting the masses. I always tell those who watch my videos to not allow the music to manipulate them, to remember that there is an agenda and we have to make sure we're not guided by it. All I want to do is find a way to help make a difference and open a few people's eyes to see the truth. Hopefully one day we can live in a better world that's not ran by so much darkness, a world where most of the souls would end up going to heaven. Thank you guys for watching the very first episode of the Truth Talk podcast. Please let me know what you guys thought below. Please bear with me through these first episodes. I promise things will get better as we go. Please don't forget to comment topics you would like to see me dig into in next week's podcast. Thank you for watching this episode of The Truth Is. If you would like to further support the channel, join me on Patreon. The link would be in the description. If you join before the 28th of this month, you could be entered to this month's monthly raffle, where you can win a shirt, a cash prize, and even pick a video topic. Also, please leave a comment below on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button, as this helps other people find these videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. Please follow me on Instagram at TheTruthIs01 and on TikTok at TheTruthIs. I will gladly appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye.